If your pepper plant is still this small in June, you are running out of time. You're going to be standing here in August wondering where your harvest went. I'm going to show you exactly what's keeping it small and how to fix it before summer's half over. And one of these fixes is completely counterintuitive. It might actually be your plant's fault. Let's start with the most common one first. It's the early spring planting time. You've got that pepper in the ground early and it survived, but it never really took off. Now here's what's actually going on. If you get excited and put that pepper in the ground early, before the soil really warms up, the roots hit the brakes the second they touch the cold dirt. Peppers are tropical plants. They want soil in the mid to upper 60s before the roots even think about expanding. Anything colder than that, and the plant goes into what I call a holding pattern. It's not growing, it's just surviving. And here's the part nobody really ever tells you. Warm weather alone doesn't fix this. Sometimes the roots get so stunted early on that the plant just stays small, even in the June heat. The setback becomes permanent if you don't intervene now. Now here's what to look for. A cold stressed pepper can look a little bit sickly. The leaves might look yellow or duller than the rest of your plants, sometimes with a slight purple tint. That's your clue. That purple is actually the plant struggling to pull phosphorus out of that cold soil. And the whole thing just looks smaller and less full than it should be for how long it's been in the ground. It's not dying, it's just running behind, and it stays behind unless you do something about it. Most people see that and just leave it where it is, hoping it snaps out of it on its own. Spoiler alert, it won't. Here's what actually works. I actually went through this myself early this spring. We had a few weeks of really warm weather here in Southern California, and I thought, okay, we're good. Let's go. And me being me, I was excited. I wanted to get those peppers in the ground. So I planted. But then the temperatures dropped again. Cold nights, cooler days, not consistent warmth at all. And those plants just sat there. 3 weeks later, they still hadn't grown at all, and they were starting to look exactly what I just described. A little yellow, a little off, not dead, just stuck. So here's what I did. I dug them up carefully, leaving the soil around the root ball so I wasn't damaging the roots, and moved the whole thing into a 5-gallon container with some fresh potting mix packed around the edges. A smaller volume of soil in a container heats up a whole lot faster than the ground does. And the extra warmth is exactly what stalled roots need to start them moving again. Now, I also gave them a light dose of liquid nitrogen fertilizer to kickstart new growth. Within about 10 days, I started seeing new leaf growth. And now they're growing strong right alongside the rest of my peppers, getting ready to load up with peppers, same as everything else out there. So if your pepper is stuck because it went in too early, do exactly what I did. Dig it up, keep that soil around the roots, get it into a container and give those roots the warmth they need to start moving again. What if your pepper didn't get planted too early? What if it went in at the right time, the weather's been fine, and it's still small? That one's a little bit sneakier, and the problem might be coming from the plant itself. Okay, now I'm warning you, this next one is gonna be hard to hear. And yes, it really is your plant's fault, kind of. Now your plant is small, like this one here, but it's already flowering. Maybe it's already got a couple of tiny peppers forming on it as well. And you're thinking, yes, finally, it's doing something. Newsflash, it's not. The plant is making a mistake. And if you don't step in, you're going to get way fewer peppers than you should. You wanna know what's actually happening? When a plant is small and stressed, sometimes something in its biology kicks in and says, produce now, before it's too late. So it rushes into fruit before it's built the structure to support it, before it has enough leaves, enough branches, enough roots to actually carry a real harvest. But here's the problem. A small plant has limited resources, and growth and fruit are both competing for them. The more energy that goes into those first peppers, the less that's left over for building bigger, stronger branches and roots and fruit. Now, the branches and stems aren't strong enough yet to even hold the weight of those peppers properly. And this is actually one of the main reasons peppers stay small, even in June when the weather is finally warm enough. The plant isn't stalled because of the conditions. It's stalled because it's spending everything it has on those first few peppers instead of getting bigger first. The fix is a really tough one. And I'm warning you right now, this is going to hurt. Pinch those flowers and baby peppers off, all of them. I'm going to do this painful thing right here on camera because I want you to see how hard this actually is. Even knowing everything I just told you, even after years of doing this, it still gets to me every single time. This is your first pepper of the season. It's right there. And I'm telling you to pull it off. The plant is what? Maybe 10 or 11 inches tall. There are some leaves on it, but there's just no way it can grow and produce fruit at the same time. But give it 2 or 3 more weeks of putting all that energy back into stems and roots and leaves, and you're gonna have a plant that can hold 10, 12, 15 peppers at once and actually ripen them and support them. So keep pinching it until that plant has real size on it. We're talking at least 12 to 18 inches or so. But the important thing is multiple branches coming off the main stem and a bushy full look. 2 to 3 weeks of redirected energy can really get you there fast. And once it's built that frame, let it go to town. Let it flower, let it fruit, and then just watch what it does. That's the plant you're going to be standing next to in August, loading up a bowl of big, beautiful peppers, enough to roast, grill up, enough to make fresh batches of salsa that taste amazing. That's what makes this one hard moment worth it. What if your plant has good size, no early fruiting, and it's still just not growing? Doesn't look bad, doesn't look great, it's just stuck. That one comes down to something you might not ever even think to check. This one is definitely easy to miss, and it might be exactly why your peppers are still small right now in June. The reason for this one is something you walk right past every single day without seeing it. Peppers don't just want sun, they want heat and sun together. And we're talking at least 6 hours of direct sun a day, with 8 to 10 hours being even better. Not dappled sunlight, not filtered sunlight, real direct sun. The more sun, the more peppers you'll be harvesting. And here's why. Sunlight is what drives photosynthesis, and photosynthesis is literally how your plant makes energy. No real sun, no energy, no growth, no peppers. You get my drift? When you've had a stretch of June gloom like we get so often here in Southern California, exactly like we have today, cloudy mornings, cool nights, or a lot of temperature swings, your pepper has technically survived all of it, but surviving and growing are two very different things. Without consistent warmth and direct sunlight, photosynthesis just plain and simple slows way down. Now, there's of course not much you can do about the weather, but here's something else you might not have thought to check that you can do something about. The plants around your pepper plants likely have grown since you put your peppers in the ground. That tomato next to it, or for example, these flowers next to my pepper plant, have definitely grown in size. So the spot that was in full sun in April or May might now be actually sitting in shade for a good chunk of the afternoon, and you'd never know it unless you went out and actually watched. So here's what you need to do. Go out there and pay attention for a day or two, morning, midday, and then late afternoon. The sun's shadows have very likely moved since April, and you need to see where they're falling now. It's pretty simple. If your pepper is sitting in shade that wasn't here before, bingo, you found your problem. If your pepper plant is in container, this is your lucky day. All you have to do is pick it up and move it into full sun. That one move could completely change how your pepper plant grows. Put it somewhere where it gets at least 8 to 10 hours of real direct sun and watch what happens. If it's in the ground, prune back whatever is blocking it and get that light back on your plant. Or what you can do too is just dig it up, just like we talked about earlier, and then move it. Get it into a container or replant it in a sunnier spot in the raised bed. Peppers just want to give you peppers. You just have to give them what they need to do it. And once you fix it, that plant doesn't waste any time. Big, colorful peppers coming in week after week. That's what moving it today gets you. You're welcome. Now, what if your pepper plant is getting full sun and it's still just sitting there? The next one has nothing to do with sun or soil temperature at all. The real problem is hiding below the surface, right where you might never think to look. It's almost always a container problem, and it's one of the most common reasons peppers just stop growing, even when everything else looks great. If your pepper hasn't gotten any bigger in weeks, not slowly growing, just completely stalled, and it's in a pot, go pick it up right now and pop it out of that container. Go on. Go do it now. What you're looking for is roots circling around the bottom like they've got nowhere to go, or the whole root ball holds the shape of the pot. That's even worse when you pull it out, like a brick. If that's what you're seeing, that's your answer right there. Here's what's happening. Roots can only grow as far as the container lets them. Once they hit the wall of the container and start circling, the plant stops growing. And as the soil compacts with every watering, it gets harder for the roots to push through, harder to access oxygen, harder to pull in nutrients. You can be doing everything right and still watch that plant sit there. And it's so frustrating because the roots physically have nowhere to go. So get it into a bigger pot. Simple as that. 5 gallons I found is usually plenty for one pepper plant. And here's the thing, you've got to use fresh potting mix, not that old compacted stuff. Come on now, get some fresh mix in that pot. That means fresh nutrients are getting to your plant, and that's what gets the plant growing again. And here's something you might not know. You can actually grow 2 or 3 peppers together in one container, and it works really well. The canopy from multiple plants actually shades the peppers themselves from intense afternoon sun, which helps prevent sun scald. But you need a bigger container to pull this off. 7 to 10 gallons usually works pretty well for this. Do this and just give it a couple of weeks. Be patient. Pretty soon, you're going to start seeing new growth. The plant will start filling out. And by late summer, you'll have even more peppers than you know what to do with. That's the payoff. Even though it's June, your pepper plants don't have to stay small. You know what's causing it now, and you know exactly how to fix it. Head out to your garden today and tell me what you find and what you did about it. And just watch what it does when you finally give it what it needs. You know I'll be looking for your comments, so drop them below. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time in the garden.